Dutch Brothers reported earnings after the bell 2 days ago. The results were awesome. They beat on the top, bottom line, and they raised guidance. Wall Street didn't like it. Investors were selling off. The stock the next day was down almost 20%. So today we're going to talk about what's going on with Palantirs. We're going to take a look at their numbers that they just put out, as well as talk about a major acquisition that they made. And then we'll talk about why investors are selling off the stock. And then at the end, I'm going to let you know where I stand in my investing portfolio and where I see the stock moving from there. So let's jump right into it. Their stock price has been down over the last year over 12%. If we can see after earnings, this major drop off put it negative. It was actually positive. The stock moved up into earnings at one point, reaching over $70. So let's take a look at the numbers, right? The street was expecting 524.8 million. It came in with 550. So that's a beat on their revenue number. Their sales numbers looking amazing. Their EPS, the bottom line number, was expected at 29 cents. They came in at 33 cents. So a beat there. Let's look at their guidance. Guys, this is from the first quarter earnings, and this is their outlook for full 2026. I'm going to compare it to the Q2. So we can see here 2.05 billion to 2.8. They raised that up. Now it's at 2.1 to 2.13. So that's looking good. The one negative that I see here that I don't think is too bad, but Wall Street might be looking at it, is they did raise the range of their same shop sales growth 5% to 6%. It was previously at 4% to 6% or 4% to 5%. So maybe the street was looking for a little more raise. Same thing with the EBITDA, 370 to 380. And if we look at 385 to 390. So maybe the street was expecting more. Dutch Brothers has a high valuation. It trades at a high multiple. We can see their capital expenditures also went up from 350 and 370 up from the 200s, 270 to 290. Obviously, that acquisition is going to cost them money. Let's talk a little bit about that acquisition right here. Salad and Go, which had major locations in the Phoenix, Arizona area, as well as Nevada, Texas. But I think they're predominantly the bulk of the locations is there. 65 locations, up to 65 locations in the States for 105 million. I look at this as a positive. Some investors might be looking at it like the Arizona market is already saturated. Guys, my bull thesis on Dutch Brothers is America loves sweets. I think this is going to go down as another one of the classic chains that we see, the drive-through chains, like In and Out. In and Out, oh my gosh, right? If you could have been an investor, which it's never been a public company, but if you could have somehow got in 20, 30 years ago, can't imagine how much that company is worth now. Just obviously an awesome chain. I look at Dutch Brothers the same way. I think their culture is there. I think they have the winning formula. As far as what they're doing, a coffee or drink drive-through chain, there's no moat there, right? Obviously, anybody can recreate that. And there is another company recreating that, right? Seven Brews. I've actually talked about that, guys. If you haven't seen that video, I will post it in the pinned comment. It'll be the first pinned comment below. Anyways, there is another company, and they're actually growing faster, and they actually did just release that they are now have an app. So you will be able to order through their app on Seven Brews. They're catching up. Guys, I think there's plenty of room in this space for both companies. I think America loves sweet drinks, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. So I look at this as a positive. Let's talk about a little bit of other things, a few other things that might be negative. Their system-wide same shop sales grew in Q2 to 5.8. So this is all of their shops, 5.8, but it was down year over year from 6.1. Not much of a difference. So it's still growing. It's just not growing as fast. So investors may be worried about that. If we look at their company-operated same shop sales, that actually went up. And we do know a majority of their locations are not franchised, right? It is their company operated. So it's kind of crazy that this number is this and this one actually went down as a total. So we'll keep an eye on that, see how it's going moving forward. You never know. Some investors, they get picky, especially when you're looking at high valuations like this. All right, next, let's talk about their valuations. Their forward PE is now sitting at 48. If we look back through previous quarters, this is looking awesome. This looks like a time to buy, right? Their PEG ratio, same thing, down, awesome. Their PE ratio is still over 70. If we look back, that's trading cheap, but that doesn't always mean the stock's cheap. On their conference call, they've said that in the back half of the year, they're worried about coffee costs rising, right? They're also talking about margins being compressed. So I think investors are definitely worried about those two things. Personally, I think they're firing on all cylinders. I think the management's doing amazing. Guys, I'm not selling one share. At this point, I still have 40 shares in my investing portfolio, and I'm going to hold those unless something changes with their culture, or the fundamentals. There's no way I'm selling this. My risk versus reward is how I'm looking at this stock. And I don't think this stock will 5x in 5 years, but I definitely think it'll double to triple in 5 years. I think those are the possibilities. And the chances of me losing any money in this, I think, are very, very slim. So if we look at it here, I'm actually down now with this recent drop after earnings, and I'm okay with that. I'm holding this for years to come. They have a huge runway in front of them, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. All right, guys, that's about it for this one. If you guys want to see what moves I'm making next in both my investing or my gambling portfolio, hit the subscribe button so you can get the notifications, and I'll see you in the next one.